up, DaAi TV Indonesia celebrated its 8th birthday by hosting a book drive. We learned how Habitat for Humanity has been helping New Orleans rebuild following Hurricane Katrina. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen L. Thank you for joining us. We kick off with reports of Tzuchi's rice distributions for families in need across Southeast Asia. Cambodia, which should be enjoying a monsoon season till October, is experiencing severe drought in several regions. Thus, a local farming community has reached out to Tzuchi for assistance. And in Quezon City, the Philippines, some 5,000 families showed up at the local Jingsi Hall to receive rice from Taiwan.
Some 5,000 poor families have come together at the Jingsi Hall in the Philippines. Sitting in an orderly fashion, Tzuchi's humanistic values have already taken root in their heart.
As the Tzuchi Foundation celebrates its 15th anniversary in the Philippines, we are not giving, but receiving everyone's love instead.
All present came to know Tzuchi because of disasters and are now paying the love forward. Young Janelle is here with his grandmother to receive Tzuchi's rice. His grandma donates monthly and brings him along when volunteering, so Janelle knows to reciprocate.
I am very thankful for my son who knows how to watch out for his own family at such a young age.
We ran out of rice at home already. I want to help my mom out, as she has been working so hard.
Honey Lee, a victim of a recent fire, is grateful for Tzuchi's assistance. She still has blankets and supply packs that she received from Tzuchi earlier. Though her home is being repaired, she is full of hope.
Tzuchi is really trying to help us get back on our feet. The volunteers are by my side.
Thank you, Tzuchi Foundation and Master Cheng. Thank you, Tzuchi Foundation.
The rice from Taiwan has reached even the poorest corners of this community. Herminio, who is over 70 years old, easily picks up the 20-kilogram bag of rice as he works in a local market.
This rice is wonderful. It will last for 1 to 2 months.
Victoria has made an alleyway her home. With her son in prison, no one is willing to take her in. Living on the street, she's glad she will not go hungry at least.
This is a great help for me. I received a bag as well last year, and now I get one again this year. I will give one half to my son in prison so he has something to eat.
The rice is more than just food that sustains the body, but is also a spiritual sustenance that warms the heart. In Cambodia, Tzuchi volunteers drove for an hour from the capital of Phnom Penh to arrive at a farming community in need of assistance.
I haven't been this happy for a very long time. The Tzuchi Foundation has come to help us. Though the relief is temporary, it will have a deep impact on our lives.
Volunteers visited earlier to verify the number of families in need of assistance, with each family on the list receiving a 20-kilogram bag of rice and other necessities. It was the principal of the local elementary school who reached out to Tzuchi to ask for assistance. Volunteers also brought 3 simple water purification systems so the school students will no longer have to drink muddy water.
Thank you, Tzuchi, for all that you have done.
Volunteers also taught the children to wash their parents' feet, which deeply moved everyone present.
In Cambodia, bathing parents' feet is typically done by children after their parents have passed away. By doing this now, our children have learned to honor their parents in a timely fashion.
Though the drought is still ongoing, the thirst in the villagers' hearts have now been quenched.
It has been 8 years since the establishment of DaAi TV Indonesia, and to celebrate the occasion, staff members launched a book drive on behalf of those living in remote areas. But first, let's join a seminar where DaAi TV viewers and scholars share their thoughts on the positive changes the station has brought them over the past few years. To celebrate the 8th birthday of DaAi TV Indonesia, staff members organized a seminar in Jakarta where scholars and viewers gathered to share their thoughts on the changes the station has brought to society.
I think what makes DaAi TV Indonesia so unique is that the station focuses on spreading the concept of love. I believe this is something that not many TV stations can achieve.
Scholars and the public look to DaAi TV Indonesia to continue reporting on the goodness of the world while being a role model for other stations to follow.
Compassion in action.
Our goal is to put love into action. We want to encourage our viewers to be grateful and care for one another.
To mark the occasion, staff members at DaAi TV Indonesia launched a book drive on social media with the goal of collecting 1,000 books for schools and communities in remote areas. Upon learning of the cause, people from far and wide happily donated their love.
All of us are very surprised by the result. We received books from various places across Indonesia, such as South Sumatra, Sandra of West Java, Batam, and Jakarta.
At the end of the book drive, more than 3,000 books were collected. The founder of the Reading Multantuli group happily received the books from DaAi TV Indonesia.
I hope DaAi TV Indonesia can continue being a station that spreads great love and positive values to its viewers.
As summer vacation comes to an end in China and a new school year begins, Tzu volunteers from Yiwu, Zhejiang province visited the homes of scholarship recipients. Besides encouraging these students to keep up with their studies, volunteers also reach out with financial support, making these students' path to education easier.
Prior to the start of the new school year, Tzu volunteers from Zhejiang's Yiwu are paying this year's scholarship recipients a visit. Arriving at Lei Wenwen's home, volunteers learned that the girl spent her entire summer break looking after her mother, who suffers from muscular dystrophy.
I prepare her breakfast and feed her. Then I also feed her her medicine and do the laundry as well.
Tzu volunteer Tong Shuqing, who is also Lei Wenwen's teacher, praises her for her thoughtfulness and maturity.
She's capable of managing everything on her own. When we visit care recipients, she also offers to join us and help out. She's got a big heart.
Xiao Chen, who will soon begin graduate school, has been receiving Tzu scholarship support for 7 years now. Originally a shy boy, after years of interacting with Tzu volunteers, Xiao Chen has learned to come out of his shell.
Before, I was shy and didn't like to interact with people. But Tzu volunteers always bring activities and interactive games, so I've learned to be more at ease when I'm around people. They also bring a sense of familial warmth and love.
Ye Pengkai lost his father to pancreatic cancer and now lives alone with his mother. Mr. Jin, who was diagnosed with a heart condition, is unable to work and has fallen heavily into debt. His daughter has to work during the school holidays in order to make ends meet.
你要保持心情愉快，知道吗？你有快要毕业的，他毕业的就会回来照顾你，好不好？所以说你要保持心情愉快。你又为他活的，这个要给他鼓掌。
Although volunteers traveled far to reach the homes of these scholarship recipients, seeing these youngsters' determination to take the future into their own hands, volunteers say all their hard work has paid off.
Growing up in a financially disadvantaged single-parent family, Guo Weijun has had to work part-time since young to help support his mom and younger brother. He also maintained good grades in school and received scholarships to help meet his family's needs. Now that he has graduated from school, Guo plans to continue to draw to help improve his family's life.
Guo Weijun of Taichung, Taiwan is most focused when drawing.
When I draw, I let my imagination run wild, and I try to see things from different perspectives.
Guo draws with a pencil, a pen, or a graphics tablet. He experiments with different styles to create art while always aiming for perfection.
I never give up on a piece, but perhaps I will get very frustrated while creating it because of the obstacles I encounter.
Guo and his younger brother were raised by their mom single-handedly. As the family is not well off financially, Guo could not always do as he pleased.
To help support his family, he studied and worked part-time. Now that he's all grown up, we should let him pursue what he wants to do.
Tzu Ji has long taken the family under its wing. To improve the family's quality of life, once some 20 volunteers showed up to renovate the family's home. Fortunately, Guo has lived up to everyone's expectation.
Night school is quite easy, but I had to get very good grades all the times so I could qualify for scholarships. We needed money at home, so I gave all my scholarships to my mom and took none for myself.
He said he wanted to study multimedia, but I was against it, as I didn't get anywhere by studying advertising. Now that he's making a name for himself, I'm just so very proud.
Guo never forgot that he is where he is today because of other people's assistance, and promised to be the one giving in the future.
If others want to ask me questions about how to draw, I will gladly share and teach all I know with everyone.
Next, we follow our U.S. DaAi reporters to learn how Habitat for Humanity, a non-governmental organization, has helped with rebuilding and giving those whose lives were affected by Hurricane Katrina a chance to live their dream.
Right at landfall is when the worst storm surge will be coming in downtown on the West Bank.
My mother is 83 years old. She's in dire need of her heart medication. There's no medical services here. She's on the floor. She's dying right now.
We're beginning long-term planning to help those who have been displaced, as well as long-term planning to help rebuild the communities that have been affected.
Murray, and I was born and raised right here, 4241 America Street. The storm hit August 29th of 05. I didn't come back to this house till that next year, 06. It's gonna get better before it gets worse, because I've seen the change from bad to worse. Now I can kind of see some good coming in, because people do need places to live. Yes, indeed.
We're standing on Stemway. This is in what's called East New Orleans, mostly blue-collar working class, largely African-American community. Habitat for Humanity has worked all over the parish. We worked in about 7 neighborhoods altogether. We typically go into a neighborhood, we build a bunch of houses on lots that we've acquired, and as we finish it out, we'll rotate into another neighborhood and start accumulating lots again. We do what is called inner city infill, so we fill in vacant blighted lots with brand new Habitat houses that are being owned by our Habitat homeowner families. Following the failure of the levees and the flood walls, we of course had enormous difference in the entire city, more opportunity, tremendous and generous support, and that allowed us to build over 460 new houses. So we're expanding our presence all around the city.
I was born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. Coming up as a young girl, I always dreamed of having a place to call my own. While being evacuated to Texas for Hurricane Katrina, I found out I was pregnant. On February the 26th, 2006, my beautiful daughter Madison was born. Now, every decision I made was a factor around her. In 2008, we moved back to New Orleans, and to my surprise, a lot had changed. Rent was higher than before. It made more sense to own rather than to rent. Then I heard about Habitat. You know, when I walk through the door, it's like, this is my safe haven. Anything that don't bring me peace can't walk across my door sill. When I walk across my door sill, this is peace for me. So, and I just love it.
We try to pay attention to the details to make the house a better house for our families and something they can enjoy, not just for their lifetime, but for generations to come. You got to remember, a lot of Habitat families, no one in their entire family has ever owned their own home.
For my daughter to be able to come out and play in the yard, so the yard is pretty big.
We've come an incredible distance since the failure of the levees. In the past 10 years, we've rebuilt so incredibly well, but we still have a long way to go.
We're coming up better than other cities, just like the ones with the houses here. Now, their kids gonna grow up in a house, not in a project, in a house. You know, so their mind's gonna even be better, they'll think better. We gotta do something to preventive maintenance, some kind of troubleshooting to stop. And that's what these houses are doing, that's what Habitat doing, all that. And that's the kind of blessings we got now coming down.
In New York City, city volunteers in Manhattan have provided free vegetarian food to seniors on weekends for more than 10 years. Since the lease on the City Manhattan Service Centers is about to expire, the volunteers have had to suspend their service for the time being. Knowing that many seniors are disappointed by the news, the volunteers promise to resume the service once the new office is ready.
The Manhattan Service Center is usually packed on weekends when hot meals are served and seniors from Chinatown come to enjoy vegetarian food as well as old friends. Therefore, many have a hard time accepting the fact the service will be suspended for a while.
I have been coming here for 3 years. I did not like vegetarian food before, but since I changed my diet, my blood pressure and cholesterol levels have become normal.
City volunteers in Manhattan had been working with Songde Temple since 2000 to provide free vegetarian food to elderly people in the community. In 2011, the volunteers also set up a central kitchen at the Manhattan Service Center so more people could join their ranks.
I'm so happy coming here. The volunteers are really nice to me. I have been coming here for a long time. I do not usually get close to other people, but I've improved a lot.
The Manhattan Service Center will be relocated since its lease is up, and therefore the hot meal service, which has run for 10 years, will be suspended. Nevertheless, the volunteers promise they'll resume the service once the new office is ready.
With your support, we want to continue the service. However, our affinity with this place is coming to an end. I hope we will have the affinity to gather again. Is that good? Good.
To educate the public on the correct way to observe the 7th lunar month, city volunteers in Taiwan organized 2 blessing ceremonies in Xizhi and Shuling districts of New Taipei City.
My mother was really concerned when I was hospitalized. I am grateful to Tiji sisters who are by my parents' side, encouraging them throughout.
For the past 2 months, the Bali water park explosion burn victim Chen Yingting has been waiting for this opportunity to thank the Tzu Chi volunteers.
They were by my side when I felt helpless. I could talk to them and felt at ease. We are like a family now.
At a blessing ceremony held at the Tingqi Activity Center, a burn victim came to Tzu Chi and a play was presented to promote vegetarianism. Among the attendees was Shu Xing Borrowhead, who comes every year.
Every year we replace lavish offerings in joss paper with prayer. I can see that the residents here have gradually come to accept this idea.
We don't burn joss paper. I have been hoping people would not do this. I stopped burning joss paper long ago.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Xizhi also held a tea gathering, during which attendees replaced incense with sincere prayers.
With global warming, we should not burn joss paper or incense. We should protect the environment.
My grandmother also stopped burning joss paper and she uses fruits and cookies as offerings. It's better for the environment.
At the gathering, volunteers put on a play to encourage all to protect the environment for generations to come, and participants went away with the understanding that upholding mindfulness is more important than burning joss paper.
Skipping breakfast seems to be a simple way of saving time while rushing to work in the morning, but doctors point out skipping meals not only result in poor concentration and loss of energy, but can also increase one's chance of developing gallstones.
37-year-old engineer Mr. Su often felt upper abdominal pain, which persisted even after taking antacids. After a medical exam, his doctor found out he had gallstones.
The gallbladder is on the right side of the abdomen, but its connected nerves are in the middle of the abdomen. Many patients simply take an acid, which does not improve their condition. Some patients even wait 10 or 20 years before finding out they have gallstones.
Mr. Su, who's often busy with work, eats at irregular times. His doctor believes he developed gallstones because of his eating habits.
I often skip breakfast and eat at irregular times. When I feel abdominal pain, I take an acid. However, this time, I experienced the worst pain in my life, caused by what I learned to be gallstones. If you skip meals, your gallbladder does not get to empty its bile. The bile that remains in the gallbladder can harden and form gallstones.
Doctors suggest that we eat regular meals and avoid oily food. If one experiences upper abdominal pain, do not simply take antacids, but seek medical treatment instead to find out the real cause of your discomfort.
To pass on Tzu Chi's etiquette to children living in Hualien and Taidong in Taiwan, students at Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology held a camp at the Taichung Jingsi Hall. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.